All right, man. It's James again, man. Look at this podcast cracking again today. Real quick, I ain't got a lot of stuff to talk to you about today, man. But on some serious stuff, I was doing listening to some audiobooks and just getting myself ready for the day. Something hit me. The guy said, "Your setbacks make you stronger." Right. So the name of this podcast is "Your Setbacks Are Just a Setup for Your Next Level." Because I feel like for myself, my greatest growth periods always came directly after a setback, like a setback in my life. Something happened to me and it put me in a bad position somewhere I had never been put before. And I had to grow during that bad season of my life, right? That part took me to that point where I had to move and I had to do things I never done before. And it grew me, like I can think of the last 5 years and I've been in some bad situations where I was almost ended. Like not physically, but I mean, things that was happening was getting bad. That setback, it woke me up. Something happened, bam, I had to do things that I had never done before. I ended up growing like extremely jumps, leaps and bounds in my life in a very short period of time. Right. So I got to a point where I was actually looking forward to the setbacks in my life. Right. Now I was looking for, because I knew if I ever had my back against the wall, I would be able to fight my way out of it, because I've always fought my way. And these last 5 years, every time something bad happened to me, man, your boy got some superhuman abilities during that period of time. And I would usually keep them going forward. Right. I would keep those abilities. And sadly, they would get me in even bigger setbacks the next time. I would conquer the setback when it was small. I would get it. So say if it was so if you understand monetary value, just give it a monetary value. So say I had a $5,000 problem, conquered it super fast. And what I meant, conquered it. And it was hard because I had never had a $5,000 problem, right? So I'm like, bam, cool. So now I'm at the $5,000 level. So I'm playing with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 all the time, right? Setback come. It's a $15,000 setback. Keep in mind, I ain't never had a $15,000 problem, right? So I'm like, oh, this is bigger, right? So bam, I go and I conquer that. You know what I mean? So now I'm playing with $15,000, $20,000. Now, bam. And look, as I play with that, I get another setback. Now I got a $35,000 problem, Like I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? But my mind always made me remember when I had a $5,000 problem, fixed it. I had a $15,000 problem, fixed it. Now I have $35,000 problem. I'm probably going to fix it, right? So I will fix that. I mean, it kept going for you, boy. 150. Like, what? Bam, knocked it out. You know what I'm saying? So now I have larger problems. And for me, I think what's important after all this is to understand in life, I think your setbacks is like the wake up call. Because if you have $5,000 and you are doing your things, at some point that $5,000 is going to get regular for you, right? The setback is life waking you up when you start lacking and slacking. You know what I'm saying? When you slacking and lacking and not taking care of things like you need to be taken care of. You getting too comfortable. You letting things slide here. You let things slide there. And then over time, that stuff builds up. And a $5,000 problem turns into a $15,000 problem. And then you got to wake up again. You got to level up. That's life yanking your chain, because you've been just letting it lay on the ground for too long. Right? So the most important thing is understand this. Life gonna wake you up, but understand that those problems are yours. You created that problem. That setback is a product of your laziness over a period of time. You had to have your eyes on the ball. You wasn't taking care of business here. You wasn't taking care of business here. And it built up. And now it's here. That's life giving you that wake up call like, hey, you've been slacking. Like you created this. Now it's time to deal with it. And when you deal with it, it's going to give you a chance to move forward in life, right? It's a constant wake up, the things that's happening to you. Right? Because people get comfortable. And if you get too comfortable, you'll fall asleep. You don't want to fall asleep. So for me, all my setbacks have been setups for me to rise to a different level, right? Because another thing that I feel is important here to think about is every time something bad happens to you, for me, I've noticed that an equal good thing has happened right as I made it through the bad thing that happened to me, right? So if I had a $10,000 problem, I cured the $10,000 problem, but then on the other side of that problem, I found a way to create $10,000 faster than I had ever created it before. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. So when I had a $35,000 problem, I was able to obtain $35,000 faster than I had ever attained $35,000 in my whole life before. And that skill right there is just valuable in your life. You know, if you want to, hey, James, I need to come up with 50,000. I remember when I needed 50,000, I had to call, and patow, money here, right? You know what I'm saying? And most people don't have those kind of resources, right? Because you know why you don't have the resources? Because you ain't had that problem. If you never had that problem, you wouldn't have those resources because you wouldn't know where to tap. Me, I've had a problem, and it was very large before. 6 figures. I had to tap some shoulders, tap more than I'd ever tapped before. I tapped them, found it. Now I know where to tap, and it's easy. It's not even something I even would think about. Like, oh, you need this. I'm like, oh, I know where to go. I can get it fast, 36 hours or less, cash in bank. Right? Not a brag, but I've lost that much money before. So now I know how to obtain that much money now, you know? So again, man, your setbacks are your setups for your next level. You know what I'm saying? So embrace them and have the perspective when you think about those as this is your life. This is life correcting your mistakes, you know, like, because you created the problem. Now you have to fix it, right? And by you fixing the problem, you'll always be able to fix that problem. So if you have an open mind when problems come, you'll move faster through them. And also you'll understand, you'll be looking for the growth in it. Like, it won't send you into what they call depression. No depression. It's only getting through, you know, like reap what you sow. If you feel like you reaping things you didn't sow, you'll have depression. But that's a whole nother podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's it for today, man. I hope this was valuable to you. I hope you found value in it. Again, I'm just James, man. I'm in the office. I'm about to head home. But I feel like that was something that I could add to this world. So I'm going to just drop it here. I hope you can pick it up. You know what I'm saying?